Now, if you look at the peripheral nervous system more in detail, looks like. Yeah, on one hand, we have the central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal cord. And from the brain and the spinal cord, all these nerves are going to like every cell of our body. This is called the peripheral nervous system over here. Now, if you look at the peripheral nervous system more in detail, there's something that is called somatic and the other one is autonomic. And somatic has to do with movement. Yeah, I'm sure you've thrown that with the word already in this embodiment conference. But I call it like the more conscious nervous system. You know, I'm missing my mother, so I'm picking up my phone. I'm moving to pick up my phone. Mom, I miss you. When do I see you? You know, like, stop locking yourself down. That's a joke. I'm pretty used to, you know, as Tom described my life, it's pretty much screwed up, you know, with 5 kids and all. And I'm very much used to talking to myself and making a joke, and that all my kids are looking at me with gleamy eyes, you know, like, that was not funny, Daddy. So although maybe you're laughing out loud, you know, like, I can't hear you. Anyway, back to the peripheral nervous system. So one part is called the somatic nervous system, which I call more of the conscious nervous system. And then we have the autonomic nervous system. And this is where it becomes interesting. Yeah, the autonomic nervous system is your heartbeat, your adrenaline production, the opening and widening of your blood vessels, your temperature control, your stress response. We're going to talk about that more. Your stress response, your hormonal release, like all these things, you know, all the things that happen inside our body. And that the average doctor will probably tell you, if you want to influence that autonomic nervous system, you have to take drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, you know, although, you know, like normal drugs is also influencing that, but pharmaceutical drugs. You know, like when you have had a heart attack, you need blood thinners the rest of your life. You're stuck on pills. Now, there's something really interesting about this autonomic nervous system, and that is the breath. You're probably guessing it already. Look, the breath is fully automatic, fully autonomic. You know, while you're listening to me, you're maybe not thinking about breathing. You don't have to think about breathing. It goes automatic. And when you sleep, you don't die. You know, it's fully autonomic. But, and this is like the magic, and this is what makes us different from other mammals, from other animals in general as well. We as humans, consciously, somatically, you could say, can change our breathing. And roughly said, we can do that in 3 ways. We can slow down our breathing, we can hold our breath, and we can breathe deeper. Excuse me. Yeah, so consciously we can hold our breath. If you cannot tell a dog, hold your breath now. It's always reactive. You know, if you would, this is not recommended to do at home. If you would pull a dog on the water, he will hold his breath, but not like proactive, like we can do that. We can just and stop breathing, right? So this makes us a totally different specimen from other animals. And this is what we have the potential to be like, what you could call like superhuman, or like have absolute extreme self-healing powers, and we can do much more than we think we can. All right. So then to finish the story, and this is going to sound familiar, the autonomic nervous system consists of the sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is also known as fight or flight. Parasympathetic is also known as rest and digest. Sympathetic is where our stress is. That's the negative part, but also where our energy is. Yeah, if you're stuck and you're sympathetic, you're always sympathetic, you're going to end up in the burnout, and your body is forcing you to go parasympathetic half a year, you know, like rest and digest. But we don't have to be afraid for the sympathetic nervous system. This is also where our energy is. Having a running practice, going for a run, your heartbeat goes up, adrenaline production goes up. That is activating the fight or flight. Yeah, if you would always run, that would be unhealthy. Oh, it's a heartbeat of 120, you will not live for long. But having a running practice, like 3-5 times a week, having a run, will make your heart beat lower in general, and you will live healthier and longer. So we don't have to be afraid for the sympathetic, the fight or flight. That's one point I want to make. Then if we look at the parasympathetic, the rest and digest, we all want to be calm. Like, I'm Tim, I'm always calm. Not, it's not true. We all want to be calm, but if you're stuck in your parasympathetic nervous system, you're lethargic, nothing comes out of your hand, you're procrastinating, writing 1 email per day is already too much to ask. I'm going to stop sharing because this was that scientific part. Now, what you want, what I want, I'm just a nerd who is learning something, and I keep on learning and studying. So I don't know everything, but I found this. If you are aware of where you are in this sympathetic, parasympathetic, and you have a way to move either up or down, then you get to have a better life, simply said, because you have like a tuning button, and we can use the breath for that. You probably guessed that already. Right? So say, for example, in the morning, you just woke up a little bit late and you find out that you don't have coffee. You're tired. You can use breathing techniques to get energy. Well, if you drink too much coffee and at 10 at night, you're like, you want to go to bed, but your eyes are wide open and it's going to be one of those nights where you can't sleep, then clearly you have too much adrenaline and you want to wind down. Now we can use breathing, and that's what we're going to do this hour also. We're going to use a breathing technique that's called TT breathing technique. That's my own developed breathing technique. I am a Wim Hof instructor, but I found that this breathing technique is even more efficient. So we're not doing the Wim Hof method. If you want to know more about that, you can go to my YouTube channel. If you want to know more about the science, you can also go to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of information over there. Now, I would like first to talk about stress relief. Very simple, like if you would ask like a spiritual guru, what is the key to happiness? You may have to listen for an hour about love and light and whatever, It's very simple. Less stress is more happy. And what is the key to having less stress? It's being able to slow down your breathing. Yeah, or breathe slowly. Just 2 words. Because what happens if we engage with stress? We're going to breathe high in the chest and fast. And like the even worse is to and hold your breath. Reactively, not proactively. So if you have like a moment of stress, and it doesn't matter if it's made up in your mind or if it's real stress, I believe that most of our stress is made up in our mind. Some person is looking at me in a way, and it makes me go back to when I was 5 and my brother closed the door in my face. Here we go, another story, and I get all this stress, trauma, whatever. I make that up. That person looking at me didn't mean it like that. I just interpreted it like that. Yeah. So whatever, it doesn't matter. Real stress could be, the story of the 2 best friends that are walking in the jungle, and suddenly this noise comes out of the woods, and there's a tiger, the animal, the tiger is standing in front of them. So they both like completely freak out. And one of them stays very calm and starts doing his shoelaces. And the other friend is looking down on his friend and screaming like in despair, "Are you crazy? Do you think you can outrun a lion?" A tiger, sorry. And the other friend looks up and he says very calmly, "No, but I can outrun you." This is clearly the guy who knew how to slow down his breathing. If you have real stress and you're able to slow down your breathing, you get clarity of mind and you know what to do. Yeah, so if you take 2 words out of this hour, it's breathe slowly. Breathe slowly. Now, much like a running practice, as I just said, if you are going for a run, your heartbeat goes up. But if you have, people who have a regular running practice have a much lower heartbeat than people who don't. Now, the same goes with breathing techniques. And we're going to measure that because I'm a strong believer in questioning authority. And today I'm the instructor. I'm just a nerd who learns things and shares that, but I'm your instructor today. But I don't want you to just believe me. You should question what I say. All right. So we're going to measure that. You're going to show yourself how this actually works. But much like a running practice, if you have like a breathing practice, you will see that you are able to slow down your breathing. You breathe less, live younger, look younger, stuff like that. So that was my intro. Now, first, some practicalities. The breathing technique that we're going to do can make you dizzy. You can feel tingling sensations and your hands can go into a cramp. Now, we're not going to do like a full hour of breathing, so it should be all right, but still. Know that this is possible and know that this is okay. The cramps also, you can sometimes feel it around the mouth. It starts around the mouth when it feels like you're, if you would talk, you would speak like that. It's totally fine. However, having said that, and having just said that you should question what I say, please trust yourself before you trust me. And if it becomes like very overwhelming, maybe you should slow it down a little bit. So what you can feel, dizziness, tingling sensations, and cramps. Those cramps will go away. You don't have to start moving your hands. The last 10 minutes will be sleeping time. That's nice, right? Always in my courses, my physical course as well, there's space to take a little nap. How cool is that? Anyway, well, I just like that myself, maybe. So the last 10 minutes will be winding down, and I will guide you through a short, like meditation, or maybe just leave you. So if your hands are going into a cramp, you have time and it will be totally fine. And in like 45 minutes time, you will be completely normal and hopefully feel better than ever. Now, about that dizziness, there's no danger in breathing. You cannot hold your breath and die. This is what we try as kids, right? To screw over our parents. It never works. You cannot hold your breath and die. You cannot breathe deep and die. Like it's impossible. But there is a very small chance, but a chance you have a moment of passing out. So before we start, not yet, I'm going to ask you to lie down. Yeah, and if you really want to sit, that's fine, yogi's choice. But if you become really dizzy, make sure you have something against your back or put your hands in front of you on the ground. Now, you cannot do these breathing techniques, the anti-indicators, when you have epilepsy and and if you're like highly pregnant, like 7 months, 6-7 months or longer. So please refrain from this breathing technique that we're going to do. Now, I'm not going to get into I'm going to like mention the benefits, but I'm not going to explain them further. But through this breathing technique, TT breathing, more on YouTube, you alkalize your body, have more oxygen in your muscles and a healthy level of CO2. You make more red blood cells. This is especially interesting in COVID times, right? You want to protect yourself, then more red blood cells, more oxygen distribution and CO2 removal from your cells. So your dissemination of energy becomes more efficient. You're training your cardiovascular system. You have a release of dopamine. Maybe somewhere along this breathing technique, you will be like, oh my God, I can't think anymore. That is dopamine. But the most important thing, the 2 words that I want you to take away is that after this breathing, you can slow down your breathing much better. Maybe better than ever before. So are you ready? So what we're going to start with, thanks Milena. What we're going to start with is breathing slowly. So we're going to start with slowing down our breathing to the max. Then I'm going to guide you. Sorry, let me explain first the breathing technique that you can forget about immediately because I will guide you. But the TT breathing has we're going to start with TT10. That means every TT breathing technique has 3 phases. One is breathing deeper. Maybe speed it up a bit. Now, a deep breath is not in the chest, it is in the belly. So breathe through the belly. Deep belly breath, please. And breathe 10 times. Then phase 2 is the breath hold. We're gonna breathe in, hold our breath on the breath in, and again, I will guide you. And then breathe out and hold our breath after breathing out. And then phase 3 is called recovery, where we take a deep breath in and we hold with full lungs again for 10 seconds or so. Yeah, so TT10 is 10 times deep breathing, breathing phase to the belly, nose in, mouth out. If your nose is blocked, screw it, breathe through the mouth in, totally fine. Phase 1, breathing deeper, TT10, 10 times breathing. Then we take a deep breath in, we hold on our breath in, we breathe out really slowly and hold at the end of our breath. At the end, if you want to know why, I can explain during the Q&A. And then phase 3, recover breath deep in and hold for 10, 15 seconds, and it will just guide you. So we're going to start with TT10, and we're going to do it very lightly, because I want to show you that if you're waiting in public spaces, you can do this breathing technique. And that is really one of the good things in my life. I don't wait anymore. If I meet one of you for a coffee and you're half an hour late, I'm doing breathing exercises for half an hour. But in public spaces, you don't want to breathe like this. Seriously, I've tried it. You don't want to do that. First of all, it is annoying for other people, but people freak out and call the ambulance and the fireman and the police at the same time. So you want to keep it light. So the first 2 rounds will be TT10, very light. And then we're going to flow to TT30. I'm going to check the time, TT30, then TT50, or maybe 2 TT30s, and then another TT50. So we're going to increase the intensity, okay? At any time, if you feel overwhelmed, you breathe slower than I do. But if you feel good and you want to spice it up, and you want more of that super high in dopamine release, then you speed it up. This is your breathing session. This is your choice. All right? Okay, cool. So it's time to do some breathing. TT refers, it's kind of, undefined yet. It is Tim's technique, or a transformational or transcending technique. I don't know yet. It started with 10 times. So it's multi-interpretable. Okay, difficult word, time to breathe. But let's call TT Tim's technique. I actually invented this technique because I mixed all the Wim Hof method breathing techniques together in one. And then I put it out on YouTube, and then I got reprimanded by Wim's team that I cannot call that Wim Hof method. And I was like, but how should I call it then? And I said, I don't know. And then I said, okay, I call it TT. So this is how it existed, or came into existence. All right, please lie down. And start slowing down your breathing. So slowing down your breathing is breathing in through the nose as slow as you can, and I'm breathing like 2 times longer out. So I'm just breathing through the mouth so you can hear me better, but please breathe through the nose in, mouth out. Deep in and then twice as long out, or as long out as you can. Feel how you start feeling your skin better already by just slowing down your breathing. Maybe you want to swallow, you have some saliva production. These are all signs that you are calming down. It's the most simple technique to relieve stress. 1-2 breathing. Breathe as slow in as you can and twice as long out. Now slow it down even more, please, without losing, without becoming out of breath, and without holding your breath. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to count to 3 and then time 1 minute. And if you count the number of times that you're breathing, then after the TT breathing session, we're going to do the same, and you can measure for yourself how this works. So you don't have to trust me, just trust yourself. What can I say? I'm from Amsterdam, Don't trust people from Amsterdam. It's not a joke. It's really, like talking to myself again, which is fine. I'm okay. Slow it down even more. Slow down your breathing even more. Going to count to 3. Please count the number of times that you're breathing. In and out is 1 count. Now slow it down even more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And breathe as slow as you can without becoming out of breath. It's not a competition. Just slow it down. And you probably feel very calm already. The remedy against stress is being able to slow it down, just like you're doing now. As slow in as you can, and then twice as long out. It's like you're breathing out through a straw. And this is 1 minute. Now, just remember this number. Now we're going to do some breathing. So please breathe with me. 10 times deep in to the belly. Nose in. Mouth out. Where the intention or the subject of this round is attention. Breathe with attention. Deep in. Fully out. Breathe with attention. 5 times more. Even deeper in. Whatever you feel, embrace it. More attention. Breathe in deep and breathe out fully. Everything out. Breathe in and hold on your breath in. Hold it here. And Breathe out extremely slowly and stop breathing and hold your breath after breathing out wherever it feels right. Now I am making noise because while breathing because I'm guiding you. But if you would be in an English taxi, for example, total silence, you can do this too. You just keep on holding your breath on your breath out. I'm just filling in time with some crappy story. Even if it's silent outside, you're on an empty terrace, you can do this breathing technique. Just adjust the noise that you make by breathing to the decibels around you. All right. Let's do the recovery breath. We breathe deeply in and we hold it. Here we go. And hold. And breathe out. Now let's do another round of 10. Then we're going to move on to 30. The subject with this round of breathing is awareness. Everything starts with awareness. Now breathe it in, deep in. Awareness in. Let go of what you need to let go. Awareness in. Breathe out what holds you from being more aware. Deeper in. 5 times more, even deeper in. Breathing in more awareness. Becoming more aware with every breath. Breathe fully in and everything out. Empty your lungs. Breathe in to hold. Fully in and hold. Hold it with full lungs. Embrace those sensations, a bit of dizziness, tingling sensations, maybe you feel cramps, and link it to more awareness in your body and mind. Hold it for another 3, 2, 1, and breathe out slowly. Hold your breath at the end of your breath and stop breathing where it feels right. We're connecting on a deep physiological level of our body. We can trust our body. Trust that feeling. Wherever it feels right, stop breathing, hold your breath, and relax. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat go down, adrenaline levels drop, dopamine is released. I'm going to hold it for a little bit longer. Now, in like 10 seconds, we're taking a recovery breath. Deep in, hold it full lungs for like 15 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm counting. Here we go, fully in. And hold. If you are sitting, keep your shoulders low. Hold it. And breathe out and fully let go. Now let's go to TT30. Start breathing deeper. Keep on breathing while I talk, please. Now, if you feel like it's a bit overwhelming, breathe a bit slower than I do. If you feel like, oh, yes, I love this, bring it on, give me more, you can opt for speeding your breath up a little bit. But at all times, keep on breathing to the belly as much as you can. A fast breath high in the chest is not breathing deep. You're only using 30% of your lung capacity. A deep breath, 30%, is diaphragm breathing. So see what you can do, but breathe deep into your belly, please. 20 more. Nice. Keep on breathing like this. Your choice. Slow it a little bit down, speed it up. Depth goes for speed. First, you breathe deep. If you want to speed it up, keep on breathing deep. Keep it going. Deep breath in and embrace those sensations that you feel. The intention, the subject of this round is productivity. Yeah, with every breath in, you breathe in productivity. Productivity can be creativity. Maybe you need that. It can also be focus. Productivity is a combination of creativity and focus. So breathe in whatever you need. More focus, more creativity, or just the word productivity. Whatever you want. Let's take 5 more deep breaths, and then we're going for another breath hold. Last one, fully in, everything out. Empty your lungs. Now breathe in and hold. Hold it here. Keep on holding it. Another 10 counts. And breathe out as slow as you can, like you breathe out through a straw, and hold your breath at the end of your breath. And just trust your feeling. Wherever you want to stop breathing and hold, that is exactly the right moment. And relax. In this breath hold, after breathing out, our adrenaline levels drop, dopamine is released. And if you want any sensation that you have, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter, link it to more productivity in your life. And keep on holding your breath a little bit longer. In 10 seconds, we're taking a recovery breath. Deep breath in, hold with full lungs. I will count. Here we go. Fully in and hold. 5 counts more. And let go. And if you're alone, maybe you want to make it sound like, you don't have to. Do what feels right. Now we're going a little bit more intense. Be sure to check in with yourself. We're going to do TT50. If it was overwhelming so far, maybe you want to skip this round. Yeah. I have many videos on my YouTube channel. And if you go to my website, in the upper left corner is my phone number. You can even send me a WhatsApp. All right. And you will breathe for the rest of your life. So only do this last round when you feel you want more. Now, having said that, let's go. Breathe deeper. Deep into the belly. In through the nose and belly. Out to the mouth. Keep on breathing deep and have your own pace. You can breathe slower than I do. If it's a bit overwhelming, you can breathe faster than I do. At all times, breathe deep to the belly. After that, maybe you want to pull it to the chest, like belly and a little bit of chest. But don't start using your muscles, only your respiratory system. Keep on breathing deep. I will answer questions after this. Keep on breathing deep. Let's do another 30 breaths or so, like really deep in, breathe out through the mouth. If you breathe out through the nose, you cannot really speed it up. So I would say breathe out through the mouth, but trust your feeling. If you feel like you want to breathe out through the nose, then go ahead. This was a question of Claudia. But, like, please don't think about it. If you breathe nose in, mouth out, you're doing fine. Stop thinking, more breathing, deeper in. Maybe you notice that along the line of breathing deeper, your lungs can take up more oxygen. You can breathe deeper in. That is exactly what is happening. That is cool. Keep on breathing deep. Another 15 times, extra deep in. Last 10, even deeper in. The subject of this round of breathing is positive change. Breathe in positive change and breathe out everything that would hold you. Breathe out all the physical toxins, everything that needs to leave your body, all the emotional garbage that you want to get rid of. Don't think about it, just breathe out good. Breathe nose in, deep in, out through the mouth. Breathe in positive change. Breathe out whatever you need to release. 5 times more, last 5. Extra deep in, please. Last breath fully in and breathe everything out, emptying our lungs. Emptying our lungs completely, and with that, cleaning up our lungs and cleaning up our body. Breathe everything out. Last breath to hold, fully in. Hold here. Everything you feel, you can link to positive change. Even if it feels a little bit awkward, keep on holding your breath. Another 10 counts. And breathe out as if you're breathing out through a straw. And hold your breath at the end of your breath. If you would do this by yourself, as long as you can, but we're in a group, so we're gonna just hold it for a little while. Another 30 seconds. If breath hold is easy for you, breathe out more. Just hold it a little bit longer. Right. Let's take a recovery breath. Deep in, hold with full lungs. Here we go. And hold here. Another 5 counts. 3, 2, 1. Let go. Fully, fully, fully relax. Now, slow down your breath as you've never done before. Breathe in as slow as you can and breathe out 2, 3 times longer. In like 15 minutes, we've put oxygen in our muscle and nerve tissue. So we don't need to breathe that much. Slow it down even more and more. Now I'm going to count to 3 and again, time 1 minute. You can count the number of times that you're breathing in a minute and see if there is a difference with like half an hour ago. Slow it down even more, please. If you're still in la la land, spacing out, high-fiving Jesus, whatever, you don't have to do this, all right? If you are in your half sleep, taking a nap, having a lucid dream, stay there. We don't have to measure per se. Now slow down your breathing even more. I'm going to count to 3 and time 1 minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Timing 1 minute. Please count the number of times that you breathe within 1 minute. Slow it down even more. And this is 1 minute. I know time flies when you're having fun. Now, you can just stay where you are. This breathing technique is an amazing preparation for a meditation. And do whatever feels right. I see some people stretching. Maybe you want to lie in the fetus position with your thumb in your mouth. Maybe you want to lie in your belly, very comfortable. I love it. maybe you want to sit straight and meditate. But also if you have a question, feel free to ask it. I believe we have 5 more minutes. I leave it up to Tom. And I'm interested in the from to, you know, first time breathing, 7 times, second time, 3 times, whatever. So if you want to share that in the chat, you make me very happy. And please let me know if you have a question. One more thing. This breathing technique is extremely detoxing. So make sure you drink a lot of water, please, tonight. I got a question. Can you write down your website? I will here. The breathing instruction is on YouTube. I am making a online course, TT breathing. It has 3 levels. We just did the basic, which is dopamine release. Nice. I see 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 7 to 3. Beautiful. Divided by 2, 3 on average. Amazing. 2 to 1. The TT breathing technique consists of 3 levels. Level 1 is what we just did. Level 2 is resetting your head and the release of DMT. And level 3 is the Kundalini release. Now, I'm still developing the course. So if you want to do more of this TT breathing, go to my YouTube channel and type in TT breathing Tim van der Vlied. All right. There was another question. Can I breathe out through the nose? Well, you know, I feel that real intelligent breathing techniques have a faster, deeper breathing phase and a breath hold phase. And I can, you know, again, I refer to YouTube. I can talk for hours about this, but if you breathe nose in, nose out during the deeper breathing, you're not really getting more air in. It's like, you can do it, but, you know, breathing, you can just speed it up more and breathe as deep. So I would say nose in, mouth out, but, you know, like, you don't have to listen to me. I see KS raised her hand. I don't know, Tom, can you help with this?
Yep, she pretty sure she has a question, and I'm gonna let them
Please.
ask it.
Yes.
Live.
I see a lot of thank yous.
Maybe not.
One thing that I want to mention is, like, this is my new thing. I'm growing on YouTube, and I'm making all these online courses, but as a feedback and because I love YouTube, I always put them out on YouTube first for free. Yeah, so tonight, or when we started this session, my first video was put out on YouTube about the 5 Tibetan rites, which are amazing exercises that make your body younger. I'm 88. No, I'm 51. It doesn't matter, you know. Okay, so there's a question from KS. I understand.
And KS is on the panel and can unmute and ask.
KS.
Oh, well, hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I had asked it in the non-room panel, so I'm slightly confused. My question was about my partner who has lifelong major chronic back pain, and he has trouble taking deep breaths, but I kind of feel that if he could do this technique, it would probably be really helpful for him. And I was wondering if you had any suggestions on how he might be able to modify the technique.
Well, I'm in general, you know, like the last part, 30 times, 50 times, it's pretty intense. What I do mostly myself is 5 or 10 times, TT5, TT10, but I do it a lot. So I would like to say consistency over intensity.
Okay.
If he has back pain, I have actually a video with a exercise and a breathing technique that can remove lower back pain. But of course, you know, if it's like really broken there, maybe it's a bit difficult. But just take 5 or 10 breaths, hold, and don't go to the red pain. If you feel it, then it's okay. but don't overdo it. And I would suggest do a little bit, a lot. And you can, if you want, KS, you know, like I might make a new video about it. Just go to my website, please. Get my phone number and send me a WhatsApp. I'm, you know, like I cannot, you know, like help everybody, but if you have a question, then, and it's like too much for me to type, I don't like to type much, I will just make a video out of it, because your question may be somebody else's question as well. All right.
Great. Thank you very much.
Did that help? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And I'll look for that video.
And also like very light exercise is highly advisable. And I would refer to the online course and I'm putting out now, the 5 Tibetan Rites, Fountain of Youth, Reverse the Aging Process. I know it sounds crazy, but everybody that I know that does it for 10 years or longer, you know, like 70-year-old woman that have a body of like a 35, 40-year-old. Everybody I know that does it actually has a really, really healthy and young body. So I don't promise any miraculous healing, but no, I don't promise it, but if it works for you, maybe for your husband, try it out. It's gonna build up really, really slowly. And there's also starter videos. So I hope.
Well, maybe if he sees me looking younger and younger, then he'll want to try it.
Yeah, I think so. That's funny.
Thanks very much.
All right, I'm gonna try to squeeze in one more question. After exhaling and then hold where it's comfortable, what do you do with the held breath?
With the held breath? What do you mean? So after you breathe out and you hold your breath, you hold your breath. As long as you can, but you know, like that's for every person different. For me, as long as I can means when I feel I want to breathe, I'm going to breathe. If for you, as long as you can is like you become purple, you're overdoing it. Just at any moment, just, you know, like trust your feeling. If you feel like you're breathing in, you know, like you can do another round where you hold it a bit longer or a bit shorter, but you want to breathe out. And then at that certain moment where you're like, oh yeah, here, stop breathing and hold. And if you're like that, you went too far, okay? Rather do another session and take a step back. When in doubt, always take a step back and practice consistency over intensity. The power of baby steps. Want to grow effortlessly, then do little bits a lot. Does that answer your question?
I think so.
I hope so.
All right. Thank you. That was an amazing session.
Thank you for having me.
And thank everyone for coming to our second to last session on the channel. This session will be available for free for another 48 hours, probably a little longer on Facebook. And after that, if you would like to own this and the other great sessions that have been on this channel and all the others, we encourage you to get the package. It is